So I got stood up at an art museum. I was dressed up, feeling myself. I was ready, got there 5 minutes early, and they never showed. Old me would have spiraled into believing, oh, I'm gonna be alone forever. But the new me, I took myself on a tour there and realized I'm a cultured ass bitch, okay? And I had an epiphany about what I actually deserve. So, whew, okay, let's talk about this. And not only that, I actually before I dive into the art museum tea, I want to back up and tell you about something that happened before that. So, I went on a work trip for work, and while I was traveling, I was trying to have some fun, casual fun with somebody on the apps, and found somebody, scheduled it. It was gonna happen, go down. I made a decision to just, look good for me. And because I don't know, I like myself, why wouldn't I look good for myself? And after I had gotten ready and was just sort of like, or no, after I think after I was like showered or whatever, I was still getting ready. I get the message from this person being like, hey, they actually can't make it. And I was bummed, but not really. Like bummed that I wasn't gonna have the evening that I had hoped to have. Definitely. But just because they stood me up, I decided actually before they let me know, as I was getting dressed, I made a decision. I was like, you know what? Whether or not this person comes through, I'm gonna go to the hotel bar and take myself out to dinner because I look hot and I want to enjoy myself. And I'm gonna read my book and read it at the bar and get a lovely glass of Cabernet. And so when they sent the message letting me know they couldn't make it, like I said, I was a little bit bummed because my evening wasn't gonna look like what I thought it would, but I wasn't like devastated or crushed. I was like, well, this little snack needs to be out in the world. And so that's exactly what I did. Like they canceled and I went to the hotel bar. I got myself a glass of Cabernet. I ordered a mildly disappointing meal, but I felt great eating it because I it's not just that I looked good and I felt good, but part of the reason why I felt good is because I had made a decision about that evening and I decided I'm going to have a good time no matter what. And I kept that promise to myself. And that just felt like such a win and so awesome. And so, yeah. And not only that, this is why I wanted to tell you this before I got into the art museum stuff, because this person canceling. Like, I didn't take it as a rejection. It was just, and I didn't take it to mean anything about me. Like, it was just data about their availability and if they could come through or not. Like that's it. And this story was important because this was about me taking myself out and me being the entree. Okay. Like that didn't change. I was gonna be the entree no matter what happened that night. And so yeah, I love that for me. And I want it for you too. But it's just so fascinating because getting into dating after abuse, I think, and just being in this space, I just feel so like, I don't know. It feels expansive and fun, dare I say, because like my worthiness isn't on the line, and that dramatically lowers the stakes and makes it possible for me to make grounded, centered decisions that serve me and that allow me to still feel good along the way. And have some damn fun. So, heading back to the art museum, like I told you, I got dressed, I have my Vibes on Vibes playlist. So like I look good and I felt good and like I had like, like my own little ritual to just like get myself in a good space. I got there early. They let them know that I was there and I just got no response. And I was waiting in the area, in an open cafe type area, and that happened to be where um a tour was gonna start at like I think half an hour after I was supposed to meet with this person. And I decided to take myself up on that tour. And so I went on the tour. And when I went on the tour, I just forgot how nerdy I can be about art and how smart I am. Like, it sounds crazy, but I don't care how it sounds. Like, that's literally how I felt because I was on this museum tour and I was like the youngest person there by decades and the darkest person there by shades. And I don't know if I was the gayest person there because you can't really tell always, but it was just that. It was a bunch of just like retired couples, a bunch of retired straight couples. And we went on the tour and I'm an introvert, but I speak when I feel compelled. And I was surprised by like the different parts of my brain that was being engaged in this tour. So I like there were times where tried to speak up, but the crowd, they were kind of like rude. So I didn't get to say as much as I wanted to during that tour. But I mentioned that because I didn't internalize that or make it about me. I just realized, I I am noticing some really insightful, smart shit that none of them are picking up on. Like, and just based off of like my own history and background and like what I studied in college and what I have expertise on, like I was just like noticing all of these things and I realized I still wanted to have a conversation about it. And then I realized I still motherfucking can. And not only that, I realized as I was thinking about all the connections I was making and the things I was looking around and seeing, I thought to myself, damn, I am a cultured ass bitch. I really am. And I want to be a cultured bitch with other people who are cultured bitches. And then I realized, you know what? I um I was kind of grateful because I thought to myself, I was feeling a little like nervous before the date, which I'll get to in I think the next video. But I was kind of grateful because I thought to myself, wow, if the person had showed, I don't know, I think it would have been hard. It would have been challenging to be able to like be present and like really think deeply about the art and what the docent was saying, like just because of the nerves that I had leading up to it, which, that's a teaser for the next video, um, around what was behind that. So it was a gift. Like I realized I was walking around in the store and I was like, I'm here enjoying art and I'm enjoying my brain. And I want to continue to enjoy art and enjoy my brain in the company of other people who want to do that too. And so that's when I decided, you know what? I think it's time. I'm going to create a queer social club in my area for other lesbians that are millennials and that just want to do random things, like that want to do things in the world before dark and not at a club, like amongst other gays. And yeah, I just thought to myself, wow, this is such a gift. Like I had thought about creating a social club before, but I just didn't have the capacity for it. And I was still having my tussle with the universe around like reckoning with the fact that I'm the type of person where what I want, I thought it was a bad thing that what I want didn't exist and that I'd always have to create it. But then I realized I'm a creator. But this moment just helped me realize it's time. I'm going to create a queer social club and I'm going to create the room that I want to be in. And that was such a gift that I got out of that. And it's, I just wouldn't have had the space to notice that if that person was there. And a little bit of tea to end the story on. as I was leaving the museum, I checked my phone and which I guess it was on Do Not Disturb while I was on the tour. But I checked my phone and saw that they had messaged me, that they had texted me, or messaged me, while I was on the tour. Like maybe, I don't know if it was like a half an hour or an hour in. I don't remember exactly when, but they were like, they came up with some nothing excuse or whatever. And it was just so interesting seeing that message as I was leaving after I had the time that I had, after I'd made the decision that I had, and I found the juiciness of the gift of my own company and my own brain and what I have the power to create. Like it just didn't, it just, I don't know. If I felt nothing when I saw it, I was like, this is kind of weak. They kind of said like, oh, I was I was generous. I don't know if I have that generosity in me again, but I was like, yeah, hope everything's okay. I'm open to connecting again, but you have to choose the place. And because I just did this museum, I don't want to go again. And I felt torn about doing that. Like part of me was like, ugh, like why did I put myself out there again like that? But then you know? And then they responded and was like, "Yeah, you decide." And I was just like, "Ugh, really? I'm kind of over it." Oh, I remember. The excuse they came up with was it literally sounded like my phone ate your phone number because I couldn't find it, which doesn't make sense. And it also doesn't ignore the fact that we met on an app and you could have messaged me there, which, fun fact, she then messaged me like a week later saying like, "Hey, can you give me your number again?" And like message, I don't know, it was weird. I was like, it just was too many questions for a casual time and it's not fun anymore. So I was just like, I'm not about that life. I'm not doing that. So yeah, I mean, I survived these rejections, I guess. But even in these like rejections, cancellations are being set up, like I had a great time with myself. And not only did I enjoy my own company, I came up with more like new rules for myself around dating. And like one of the things that came up was like actually when I like if I'm planning a date, I want to make sure that I'm doing something I already would have wanted to do by myself. So if I get good stood up, I can still have a good time. And I think that's a good rule. So, all right. Reframing rejection, which is super tricky, can be the tenderest part that can really brush up against old narratives of your worthiness and abandonment. I'm sharing my specific reframe. I am the snack and entree mantras in the companion guide. Check the link in the description.